I'm Claire. My pronouns are they, them. I'm playing Kidam still. It's a very comfortable voice.
And my name is Olive. I use they, her pronouns, and I'm going to play Lovelace, a centaur barbarian.
Tumblr is their go-to thing. They are Brenna_Ivy. Can you hear?
Does somebody want to post in chat?
Can you hear me and Olive?
Can you hear me now? I see my feed going, my levels going. Oh boy, they're like blowing out though.
Oh, Zephylord says seems good now.
Yeah.
So whatever you changed.
Okay. And Olive there can be heard. Excellent.
Yeah. Oh, and hello, Zephylord. I don't recognize you. I haven't seen you before. Nice to see you in chat. Welcome. Let me see. Sorry. Technical difficulties, everyone. My OBS decided to stop detecting my mic, and now. Okay. Well, it sounds like everybody can hear me now, which is great. I guess that entire intro you didn't hear a thing I said, so I was just. Yeah. Basically, all I said was, "Welcome back. We're starting on Adventure 2. My name is Nathan. I use he/him pronouns, and I am the Dungeon Master." Oh boy, what a great start to Adventure 2. Yes, thank you so much for letting us know. Okay, yeah, with that, our two characters here, Lovelace and Kidam, they will be leveling up when they get their long rest, and we will do a very brief little intro to this next adventure. So, Lovelace and Kidam are two adventurers here, or heroes. I don't know if hero is really the right word, but
I don't know that I would call myself either of those words, but yeah, sure.
Are protagonists.
There we go.
Yes. We find them within the walls of Candlekeep, currently at the House of Rest. They have come here, they've traveled here from Baldur's Gate because their community within Baldur's Gate, where they live, has been afflicted by some curse, seemingly a curse. They're not certain what is happening. They're finding people dead in locked rooms with water leading out of the room and puddles of water in the room. And upon inspecting them, they appear to have drowned, their lungs filled with water. So, Kidam's sister has sent both Lovelace and Kidam to Candlekeep. Their sister goes by the alias Box of Screws. They are a guild kingpin within Baldur's Gate. They had a contact and know that there was someone at Candlekeep that could potentially help them in solving this mystery. Unfortunately, though, upon arriving in Candlekeep, a whole crazy adventure happened, and as a result of that, they discovered that Matreus was dead. Unfortunately. They found themselves in this strange extra-dimensional space where they found his body and were able to escape the clutches of a demon that had killed Matreus. After all of this, they managed to escape this strange space and head back to the House of Rest to regroup and figure out what to do next. You are within Candlekeep. It is one of the largest, if not the largest, resources of knowledge within Faerun. on the Sword Coast. So perhaps you'll be able to do some of your own digging and research to figure out what this curse may be. So, with that, we find both of you sitting in your room just after Fred the imp has flown out the window.
For the second time.
Yes, and yeah, you are within this. Last time we described how you had left the hearth into this area. It is actually the adjacent building connected to the hearth, and it's like a 3-story building. So as you walk in, you can see staircases going up at the back of the hall. But luckily, you got a room on the first floor, and you find yourself in a very modest little room with 2 beds and the one window that kind of looks out into the court of air. And you can hear that sound, that ever-present, just faint echoing of the monks chanting that is echoing through this court of air outside your window. So, what would the two of you like to do?
I would like some tea.
That sounds wonderful.
All right, and to sit and figure out what we're gonna do next here.
Yeah, I saw a couple tables out there in the hearth.
Yeah, let's get that. I'll pack my pipe away and stand up and just neaten the other bed that I'm not sitting on a little bit because Fred was messing with the sheets.
Yeah, you go over there and you see that the pillow has been pulled out and there's still a little bit of an imprint where he had been just lounging in it.
An imprint.
Yes. Is Operation in chat? But yes, there is an imprint in the pillow. And yeah, you can easily enough straighten that bed out. And you want to both head into the hearth?
Actually, before we leave the room, Lovelace, Fred was never here.
Sounds right.
We haven't seen Fred since he went invisible and flew out the door ahead of you.
We haven't seen... Yeah. Back in Matrace's study.
Right. Cool. Excellent. Tea. I'll head out the door.
Okay. All right. You both head out back down the hall, and it opens up into the hearth. It is still pretty early morning. Most of the patrons are having breakfast. And within here, you see that... I'll do a brief description of this interior space for our viewers. But as you walk in, to your left, you can see the wooden bar that stretches out, and it can hold probably up to 20 or more patrons. Samantha is back there busily tending to customers and rushing back into some kitchen area where you can smell the rich smells of bacon and eggs and all sorts of breakfast foods just wafting out from there. Embedded in the ceiling, the wooden ceiling just above the bar, there is that crystal sphere that's embedded into the ceiling. And hovering within it, there is this intricate clockwork device that's just ever so slowly rotating. And you see all these little cogs and gears just as it's just there above the bar. In the middle of this quite large room, there is the roaring fire in the center with the smoke going up into the ceiling through various holes up into some sort of attic space. Probably... Where's your player bonuses here? Passive scores? Yeah, you probably both, as you're walking into the space, you do look up and you can see that there are a couple of probably workers up there that you can see them taking down like smoked meats and fish from up in that attic space where all the smoke is channeling up into. And around this stone hearth, there are numerous like comfortable cushioned chairs just set up around it. And then spread throughout the stone room, you see multiple round tables, you see larger long tables with many patrons just sitting there and communicating, talking with each other. And then all throughout the room, there are multiple doorways that probably Kadam, you notice, like, there's the main entrance that you came in off to the right, but there are doors to either side of it, and those doors, there were no rooms from the outside. And yeah, they seem to not lead to anything. So it's a little
All right.
strange. And then off to the far left in a sun-dappled corner where the window looks out into kind of a grassy, like lawn area, you see the looming figure of this large, I don't know, a man, I guess, just massive, maybe an orc, but huge, with kind of big old tusks coming out from under the lip. This guy is probably 15 feet tall, wedged into this booth with 4 plates of greasy remains of breakfast in front of him, and he has a normal sized book but looks tiny in his big old hands, little spectacles on his big broad nose, and a nice like vest and like shirt underneath it. Like, he doesn't look disheveled by any means. And then he has this gleaming gold headband at the top of his head. So, welcome to the Hearth. What do you want to do?
I'll grab us a table if you want to go order some tea.
Certainly. Do you want anything in addition to tea? I know we had breakfast a couple hours ago, but
Perhaps if they have any eggs. Eggs sound good.
all right. Can do. I will go up to Samantha. Excuse me.
Yes, just one moment, dear. Let me deal with these customers for just a moment. And she runs over, finishes up with them, comes rushing back to you. So, if you and your friend become settled in, hope you find the House of Rest accommodating enough.
Certainly, we have.
Lovely.
May I have a large pot of black tea and 3 eggs over easy?
Oh, yes, certainly. I'll get that started. And anything else for your friend, perhaps?
Oh, well, the eggs are for her, and 2 cups, and milk and sugar, if you please.
Oh, yeah, of course. Where will you be sitting? I'll have it brought out to you.
I'll wave over to
And
Lovelace.
Lovelace waves. Probably near the large, interesting-looking fellow.
Okay. We didn't do a real description of the two of you, just in case there are new viewers, but
That's fair.
yeah. As you wave over to Lovelace, Lovelace, why don't we start with you real quick, since we did Kadam last time, as you are going up to a booth.
So the camera pans over, and Lovelace is like very gingerly and like cautiously moving a chair out of the way to make room for, maybe like moving it just like to entirely another table. So there's just like a table with 1 chair, and she's gonna stand. She's a tall centaur with elaborately braided hair, is probably like her most striking feature, with like kind of a dark black undershirt and a red vest.
Yes.
With like bits of jewelry kind of like braided into her hair. She has kind of these brassy green earrings. And she is equipped with a number of weapons, several javelins, a 10-foot reach pike, and 2 very sharp hand axes at each one of her hips, where she kind of becomes like human to horse.
And to be clear, she is a centaur, but she is a small for a centaur, probably about, to put it into modern perspective.
Well, just centaurs here,
Yeah.
like in this world, are small. So
Yeah.
it's more of like a deer or goat
Yes.
sort of sized creature.
Yeah. So
Maybe
not not a big old draft horse taking up a
Yeah.
bunch of room in this, in this tavern. So yeah. And then as we look back to Kadam, who is waving towards Lovelace.
You see a half-elf of indeterminate gender, shoulder length, black dreads that are half pulled back, wearing lots of layers of grays and soft purples and blues, with a big gray scarf wrapped around their neck, and brass and copper bangles in their ears, nose, and bracelets lining their wrists.
Hence the disadvantage with stealth checks.
Yeah, can't have everything in life.
Yeah. So Samantha looks at you. Oh, lovely. All right. I'll have it all bring out to you. Make yourself comfortable. Make yourself at home, and don't feel shy if you need anything else.
How much for that?
Oh, well, I will tell you in just a moment, and you can pay for it. I
All
think.
right.
I mean, so I don't have to spend a bunch of time with it. Is a silver piece sound reasonable, or is that a bit?
Sure.
Okay. 1 silver for it all.
I'll hand that over.
All right, go for it. And yeah, she goes rushing back into the kitchen. You can kind of hear her shouting at someone to get the order in. Yeah.
I will find my way to Lovelace.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a day, and it's what,
Day
10
and a half.
o'clock?
Yeah. What do we want to do today? More research? Follow up on...
Yeah. Certainly I would like to double check Fred's well, I have no idea how accurate that information he gave us was.
the
So,
information he gave us before he flew out of the room.
right. Oh. Do you think people, if they ask, would believe that you were able to just threaten it out of him?
I can be pretty threatening.
You can.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So, learn more about Slytherin trackers.
Mhm.
While you were out looking for Fred, I happened to look at my pack, and I still have liver shrub's corpse in there. I would like to dispose of that in an appropriate manner. We also left Matreus's body in there. I feel like we're gonna be asked some questions along the lines of where did we vanish to for 18 hours with an employee of Candlekeep? Why do we have 2 dead bodies on us?
I have questions for them as well that I'd like to get answered. How could they let this happen?
Well, we can maybe do a question and answer kind of session or something.
I'm sure Irony right now is fielding
Doodle.
some himself.
Oh, I'm certain. I imagine he is answering a lot of questions right now. We should go find him again soon.
After breakfast.
After breakfast.
And I think Lovelace starts eating
Yeah.
his eggs.
As you say that, the eggs come flopping down in front of you in the cups of tea, and you can enjoy your breakfast and tea. Yeah. Do you want to do anything in the hearth, or just enjoy your time here? And
Can I see what book the 15-foot tall person next to us is reading?
of course, make a perception check.
I'm actually okay at those. Not when I roll 4s. Perception. 8.
It's hard to make out. The big meaty sausage fingers are just in front of the title. You can maybe see what looks like maybe there's a picture of what looks maybe like a drow figure on the cover, but
Can I also make a check? I think I'm paying attention to this.
sure as Lovelace kind of or sorry, Kadam looks over their shoulder towards the book, and then go for it.
Yeah, so probably Lovelace follows their gaze.
Yeah, their gaze. Yeah, go for it.
15?
15. Yeah, as you follow their gaze and kind of focus in, there's one moment where this figure takes a hand off the cover to grab the final egg, and I guess both of you are able to see it now, but you catch it first, Lovelace. Maybe Kadam looks back away, and this is you catching it. It's the title of it says "The Lost Mines of Phandelver."
Mines of Phandelver.
Yep.
Do I know what that is?
Make a history check.
I would love to. Flat D20. 7.
You have no idea. Yeah, you'd have to go ask about it if you wanted to.
I don't know if I'm gonna like interrupt somebody reading.
I know, it seems a little impolite, don't it?
Yeah. Do you know what Fandelver is?
You wanna,
No.
You want to make it?
Claire's making a judgment call here.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
Mine and operations are not my forte. Well, maybe, I don't know, is it... Perhaps we could go up and say, hey, can I buy you a cup of tea at a later date when you're not busy reading or something? We
Perhaps
also do
we'll-
have a fair bit to do ourselves.
yeah. I'm sure we'll see him around
Hopefully.
as we're here. He seems rather hard to miss.
True. He also looks like a friend, don't you think?
He does. I was thinking that. I'm getting really good vibes off this guy.
Yeah. Well, maybe later.
Maybe later.
All right. As you're saying that, you watch as this figure wipes their mouth, sets the book down, and kind of raises a big meaty finger towards the bar, and Samantha goes, "Oh, yes, yes." And she comes running around as you are just finishing up your breakfast, and she is having somewhat quiet conversation with him, but you can hear his deep bellowing voice as he goes,
Can I get a glass of milk? I need something after all them eggs and breakfast.
"Oh, yes, certainly, little one. I'll bring it right to you." And she goes scampering off as you finish up your breakfast. And with that, unless you want to do something,
He's a friend.
unless you want to go talk to him or talk to any of the other patrons in here, you finish up your breakfast.
Before we head out, Lovelace, do you want to... Well, I don't know exactly if this is kosher, but it did occur to me that we could just ask at the bar if we could just... Or even just, I don't know, stand up on a chair or something and say, hey, anyone know anything about Slytherin trackers?
Why don't we try the library first?
Yeah?
I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
I feel like if someone here knows, then we'll just have the information immediately and don't have to go plowing through books all day.
Be my guest.
All right. I would like to stand up on my chair.
Oh, okay. So you stand up on your chair.
Excuse me, everyone. Does anyone here know anything about Slytherin trackers?
There is a definite pause, and the room goes a bit silent as there were conversations being had, and everybody's looking towards you. And you hear some kind of murmuring of like, I don't know what that is. And then you hear from behind you that deep voice.
I don't know what a Slytherin tracker is, but you could probably find the information here within Candlekeep. They have a lot of really good books and lots of stuff about information. Do you have a guide?
I will get down off of my chair. Thank you, folks. And turn to little one. We had a guide. We figured that, yes, this would be an excellent place to find out about such creatures. You say you don't... Oh,
I was just adjusting. Don't worry about me.
Are you offering yourself as a guide, or do you have recommendations?
I can recommend some books. I don't know any about Slytherin trackers. I don't even know rightly what that might be. Can you give me some more information about it, perhaps?
We've been told that they are...
Hold on. My voice carries. It's really loud, and I feel like we're shouting and interrupting these fine folks' meals. Do you want me to come over to you, or do you want to join me here?
Please.
Actually, you know what? I see your friend there. I'll come to you. Hold on.
He stands up and you hear everything kind of as he's like moaning under his weight, and the table kind of bends as he's pushing himself out, squeezes out of the booth, picks up his book.
Thank you, Samantha. The eggs were really good this morning.
Grabs his milk, comes over, and you see as he's getting closer that the milk is actually in like probably a repurposed flower vase or something. It's just a giant glass container, and he comes over and
All right, this sometimes doesn't work great.
and he gently pulls that chair that you set to the side. Lovelace pulls it over and then looks down at it, looking a bit worried, and then slowly lowers himself into it, and it kind of
All right, I think it's gonna hold this time.
sets the milk down.
All right, now I don't have to yell across the room. So, yeah, why don't you tell me what you know about this slithering track? Maybe I could help.
Well, we were told that they are formed from a soul that has been stuffed with fluids
Oh,
from a body.
that's terrible.
Yeah, evidently hags make them sometimes.
Oh boy.
That's exactly. And they are designed to assassinate a single creature and then they disappear, except that sometimes they don't, and they just go around killing folk. They look like a puddle of water, sometimes with blood in them.
Well, well, if you could get the ear of one of the great readers, Vizier Ag, he'd be your guy. But he's one of the or the great readers, and they're a bit hard to talk with. But let's see, probably something about maybe it could maybe be an aberration, or an elemental. I would ask if you go to the Pillars of Pedagogy, you can give them a query of what you're looking for. I would start there, maybe elementals, aberrations. You said hags, maybe books about the Feywild. That might be good.
All right.
Trying to think if there's anything else.
Necromancy?
Yeah, that makes sense. If you said that the liquid is, what'd you say, it was pulled from a body?
A dead body and stuffed into a soul.
Okay. Yeah, necromancy sounds like a good one. Yeah, and I'd highly recommend, if you haven't yet, talking with let's see here. The name of this person. I definitely have. Well, he's usually stationed at the Emerald Door. The big glowing green door over there.
Right.
Yeah. He could point you to a guide, get one for you if you haven't gotten a guide yet. They're usually very knowledgeable. And of course, you could speak to anybody in the Pillars of Pedagogy at the kiosk, the front desk, in any of the towers.
We did briefly yesterday.
Oh, so you've been in there. What'd you read? What books did you check out?
Well, we found 8.
All right. Wow. Fast readers.
Well, 7 of them were empty inside, so it was a quick read.
Oh, that's no good.
But
We also found that fantastic tome on extra-dimensional spaces, yes? Who was the
That
author?
one.
Oh, what,
the 8th.
what was that one called?
I didn't see
Oh,
the title
think-
actually.
oh,
The Joys of Extra-Dimensional Spaces, I believe.
oh, okay.
He pulls out a little journal and
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. It's
No?
it's a rather frightening book, frankly.
Oh. Well, I can help. I didn't always used to I didn't always used to be like this. I've seen my fair share of things. I didn't always live here, you know.
Oh, you live here.
Oh yes. I mean, hey, look at me. Not many folks would take me in. Polite society doesn't take kindly to my kind.
Well,
I mean, I don't blame them. We have a really bad reputation.
Speaking of, I believe we skipped introductions.
Oh,
we did.
my God! I'm terribly sorry.
that's all right. We made no moves to introduce ourselves either. I'm Kidam.
I'm Little One. And you?
And I'm Lovelace. Good to meet you.
Yes, good to meet you.
Big old hand just like
Yeah.
wraps around your entire hand, shakes it.
Well, so you've only been here a day then? Oh, well, you got 9 more days in front of you. Can do
How
all
long
ki-
have you been here?
Years now. Yeah, well, as I said, I tried my luck in other cities, but I was turned away rather violently.
I'm under the impression that not many visitors are permitted to stay past their 10-day.
No, not many. They took a liking to me here, though. Yeah, I'm a bit, I suppose, a bit unique as ogres go. Do you see this thing here? Well, anyways, it allows, it's gifted me. It really, it opened my mind with arcane means, but ever since I got it, I just, the world just changed for me. I saw things in a new way. I wasn't so selfish all the time. I mean, I don't think I even really knew what that was, to be honest. Being selfish, it was just, yeah. Anyway, so then I tried Waterdeep, I tried Baldur's Gate, I made my way south, all the way up from Neverwinter. And,
That's
each...
a trek.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, I don't mind walking. But, Anyways, then I ended up here, and I figured, hey, I heard about the Candlekeep. They got all them books in there, and, well, I just introduced myself, and, they took a liking to me. I think, hey, it's not every day you get an ogre like me, so... And they were friendly to me, and they saw my just absolute, just excitement and joy to have access to so many books. I know sounds like you got important business, but if you like a good adventure, give this one a read here. It's a new one. It came out maybe 6 months ago or so. Highly recommend. Just a good old fun, adventure time kind of thing. So.
Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Oh yeah, apparently it's based on a true story. Couldn't believe it. Actually, apparently somewhere up where I lived. I do remember that town. Yeah, Phandalin, I think was its name. But it's a good story though.
Excellent. I'll take it under recommendation. Thank you.
Oh, of course. I wish I could help more, but and yeah, I'm not really a guide. I don't really have access to the books themselves. I can request books, but I can't. Well, surely you saw all the doors and glass and all that.
We did.
Yeah, it's okay though. They bring you good stuff. And hey, if you're here, you make a good enough impression, you can sometimes get access to the things in the archives beyond those doors there.
I see.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I don't know if we will do that this time round. But
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot.
that's fair. That's fair. Well, thank you for your recommendations as to people to talk to and topics to research.
Oh, of course. Now, one last thing. I am very fascinated by this book you mentioned, but is it actually dangerous to read?
Out loud.
Okay.
Actually, that's fair. That's fair. as long as they're reading in your head, you might be all right.
All right, that's good to know. Well, when you have more time, I'd love to hear more stories you have. I'm always here. I'll sometimes take walks around the Court of Air, or if you ever want to see the countryside, I can show you some nice walks out along the coast.
Thank you.
This sounds lovely.
Of course. Well, enjoy your stay here at Candlekeep.
Thank you, little one. It's good to meet you.
Yeah.
And I will-
I'm gonna go get some more milk. It was nice talking to you. Samantha!
He stands up, and as he kind of stands up, the chair falls over.
Oh, dang it.
Picks it up,
All right.
heads over to the bar.
It's remarkable they haven't gotten a chair to accommodate him.
Yeah, I don't imagine it would be too difficult to build. Well, it's not too difficult to build a chair. I know that.
All right. So
Let's find irony.
Yeah?
I'm asking you, Lovelace. Do you want to do the hard stuff first or the other hard stuff?
I say we go about our business and look for our books until they prevent us from doing so.
Oh dear. All right.
okay.
So we'll head back to the Pillars of Pedagogy.
Okay. So as you step back out into the Court of Air, couple things you notice as you're making your way across the court over to the pillars. The morning light is starting to cascade across here, and the warmth is starting to kick up a bit. You notice multiple of the avowed, the monks that reside here, are scurrying about, and they seem to be setting up garlands of flowers up all throughout the place. And you can see lots of flowers are being brought to a small, it looks to be probably a temple of some sort off to the southeast. There is I know it says it on the map what it is, so it kind of spoils it, but there is a symbol above its door, and it appears to be a blank scroll. But yeah, there are multiple avowed scurrying about with garlands of flowers, and they're just setting it up in this area. And as you step out of the hearth, you also hear another sound behind you as you're walking out. You hear this. Oh dear, I meant to look this up, and I don't actually know how you do this, and I'm a little bit embarrassed because my dad works in the trades, and I should know how this works. If you have to reshingle a roof, do you use a hammer or anything? I just don't know how that works.
I imagine so.
Yeah, I just don't know. Well, sure, you hear hammering because it's work of some kind. But you walk out of the hearth, and you hear a loud hammering behind you as you make your way across the court, and you can see that there is what appears to be another tiefling actually up on the roof, and sorry, let me see here. Yeah, it's she's got really broad shoulders and has like her hair pulled back, looks to be very toned as she's just up there hammering away, getting this roof reshingled. And she just has a scowl on her face, like she just does not want to be doing this. But regardless, you make your way across and enter into the Pillars of Pedagogy. We don't have to play out every little bit of this as you step within the towers and go up to the desk. Are you going to the back to the tower where everything went down, where Irony is, or are you going to kind of go to that main tower?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
They have things under control. And probably are like still locked down, I expect.
Yeah, I mean, as you walk in and look off to the right, you do see that there are some avowed that are kind of circling the perimeter of the tower, like anxiously looking about. And you step into this main tower where the desk is, and you can talk to them about what books you want. And again, we don't have to play this all out. You can just tell me, what types of books you want, and basically one of you or both of you, because there's only two of you actually, both of you can make investigation checks to see if you can parse through the information to see if you find anything that might speak of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask about Slytherin trackers specifically and hags and their creations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asking about that, you do get the person at the front doesn't seem to recognize that term, Slytherin tracker. They're not sure what that is. But when you mention hags and some of the other things, they will happily fetch you books on Feywild and hags, things of that sort.
All right.
So you want to
Investigation check.
both make investigation checks as you find a nook in this tower, and you notice as you step into these little nooks that, like, the sound of people shuffling around, all the different avowed going and collecting books. And as you do go sit in this corner, you do have an attendant that is assigned to you who patiently just kind of waits there, and they're not nosy, like they're not watching what you're doing, but they are just present as they bring you the books and then they stand to the side. And as you step into this little nook with like reading benches and a little table.
Benches.
Yeah. So you'll have to kind of just stand at the entrance to this nook. The sound of all the shuffling and all of that disappears within this little pocket, and it's very like quiet within here. So what did you get on your investigation?
I got a 4 plus 0.
Awesome. I got double that.
Oh, you got an 8.
I got an 8.
Yes. So unfortunately, you spend probably well into lunch parsing through these are big books and there is a lot of information.
Probably like academic jargon.
Yes.
Like, neither of us know how to research. We don't know to go through the index or like look through the table of contents for relevant information.
Yeah. What does this look like? Do you think you literally just like pop it open and just kind of start on page 1 and just start?
Yeah, I think that's definitely like Lovelace. Lovelace is like very straightforward. It's like, okay, let's read this book that is in front of me. I am now reading this book.
Yeah.
I think I might sort through and look for the most likely title and then start skimming.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, realize that we are not going to get through all of these books by, any reasonable amount of time. And then just start asking our guide questions about the Feywild and hags and things that hags make.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm imagining this is like they do answer your questions and they like point you to the sections in the book and then patiently step aside and let you read it. And it just ends up being about, you learned some things, I suppose, about the Feywild. You learned
with a 4.
What? With a 4, maybe? I don't know. Lovelace, are you just like stubbornly like just trying to read this one book and not even interacting with your guide?
I think so. Like, I think I'm hostile enough to like the administration here. It's just like, give me that. I'll take this. We just got out of combat. Like, every time there's like a bump or something, I'm just like, is Fred back? I get distracted a lot.
Also, I imagine both of you didn't really clean up that much afterwards, so you're probably still a little disheveled. I mean, in your room, you could have said you.
We've been 7 days on the road. Neither of us have taken baths.
Yeah.
We did drop off our stuff, so we're no longer like loaded down. I'm probably really uncomfortable because like it's just like not made for me.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Yeah. Like there's no like good leaning benches anywhere.
So as you're just like frantically reading this book, or not even frantically, you're like angrily reading this one book, Lovelace, and
Rage
reading. You expend a rage. No, you don't do that. But as you're doing that, and Kadam, you are patiently like asking questions, and they show you, and then you read a section, don't get anywhere with it. I mean, yeah, you learn that the Feywild, it is another plane of existence. Maybe you already knew that. You learn that time can be kind of weird there.
I probably get mad at the book also because like since centaurs are Fey,
Mhm.
like we've talked about centaurs having like a really strong oral tradition.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh,
lots of storytelling and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, they got that wrong too. And they're like talking about this, like they know everything. Like some dude just like showed up and like sat around for like a weekend
yeah.
and like has like come up with these like big theories and like totally dismissive of the stuff that we're talking about. That is truth.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so that's just, I imagine you just see Lovelace is just sitting there like, and just like turning pages like really harshly, like, but yeah, you get well into lunch and you don't gather any information. I'm assuming you probably start heading back to the hearth, unless you want to stay there.
Dom, this isn't working.
No, it ain't.
We really need
Great.
Matreus.
I thought we'd go get lunch and then find Irony.
I agree.
All right.
So as you hand the books back and start making your way out of the pillar, you do, when you're making your way towards the door, you do see the door open, and Irony does step in, kind of glancing around the space, and spots both of you, and goes, "Oh, and leads you outside, and steps outside and closes the door behind you, and
Irony, we're about to go grab lunch. Care to join us?
yeah, I don't know if we have time for that right now. Maybe after, so the gate warden would like to speak with you.
The woman who cares so much about things.
Oh, Velma. No,
Velma?
she's not actually the gate warden. She's one of the priests who works at the gate. They rotate out in shifts. The gate warden, he kind of runs all the, the security in Candlekeep.
Are you still looking for that imp?
Yeah, we are.
God.
Haven't found it, but no, it's okay. This isn't about that. We know. I explained what happened, and they may want to ask you just a couple questions about that, but it was an accident, and no, they just, well, someone died, who is a seeker here, and
Right.
and you're new guests and you were involved with the incident, so he just wants to ask you some questions, just a brief investigation.
Sure. To lay everything on the table, do you mind if I run back and get my pack? I have another body in there that I would like to get rid of.
Oh dear, you do. What body?
And Kadam pauses for just a split second longer than necessary. Liver shrub.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's it's really tragic. I don't know. I thought maybe that was a bag of holding or something, and you...
No. I do not have such a thing.
Oh,
Very
I still
well.
have Gutweed with me too, don't I?
Yes, you do. Gutweed is just perched on your back. This little cat appears up over Lovelace's shoulder with this like fluffy black fur, and just and Lovelace goes, or sorry, God, Irony just goes, "Oh, hello, Gutweed." Yes. So yes, of course, you can grab your pack, and if you do need some food, I will just go let him know that we can wait. It's not. I mean, it's urgent, but they would understand. So yes, just meet me at the Temple of Ogma over there, where all of the priests are setting up those garlands. If you meet me
Alright.
over there, the gate warden, his name is Kalen Brightwood. He will be
Kalen
speaking with you. Yeah, it shouldn't take long. But yes, it just we just need to make sure that we thoroughly investigate what happened and understand.
No, and I appreciate you taking the lead on this, Irony. Really do.
I guess it's
Have you
a bit
had
of a
breakfast?
promotion.
I certainly hope so.
No, I haven't. Had
We'll
breakfast.
bring you something.
Thank you. Okay, I'll see you over there. And he scurries off. So yeah, again, you easy enough. Grab all your pack. Do you want to do anything while you're over there? Otherwise, we can go straight to the temple.
I might ask Little One if Little One is there. If
Okay,
he knows anything about Kalem?
Kalen.
Kalen.
Yeah, Kalan. Yeah.
Oh, I seriously misspelled that.
Irony gets really scared. So yes, you want to ask Little One. Okay, so yeah, you head on in and you see he's just relaxing back in that booth, and you do notice that yes, he had to squeeze out a bit of that booth, but it does look to be slightly bigger than some of the other ones, so it seems to be kind of like his area. Yeah, you approach and he goes,
Oh, any luck, Lovelace?
None whatsoever, and they're
Oh,
gratuitously misinformed about some
Oh.
things.
oh, well, that's fortunate to hear. It does happen sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, do you know anything about Kalen Underwood? He's the gate
Underwood.
warden.
Oh, you mean Brightwood? Galen
Brightwood.
Brightwood. Yes.
Brightwood.
Oh, yeah. He's a nice older gentleman. He's very friendly. Very curious, inquisitive person. Yeah. What about him?
He has some questions for us about how we read the book that we mentioned.
Oh, well,
The
that's
Joys.
that's odd. Oh, cool. You get to get the ear of the gate warden. That's a big deal. You're actually
yeah?
moving up. Oh yeah, head of all the defenses of Candlekeep. It's a big title. Yeah. Well, that must have been quite a book.
I'll tell you about it maybe tonight.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear. Maybe we could have dinner together. I mean,
Hey,
if you want.
Little One.
Yeah. I didn't mean to be too forward. Sorry.
Oh, no. I'm moving around a lot today. And I pull out Gutweed. And you're like, so we found this cat in the book.
Yeah. In the book.
Gutweed.
What?
In the book, yes.
Okay. Later. Yeah. Okay.
And I don't know. I don't really want him to get like caught up in all of this. Would you do me a
Yes.
enormous favor and
Yes.
look after him?
Yes.
Perhaps today.
Of course. Samantha, could I have some more milk, please? All right. Oh, we can make it cream. Yes, of course. Oh, what's their name?
Gutweed.
Hello, Goatweed. Hello. Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, buddy.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You're a good judge of character, aren't you?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I will absolutely take care of Gutweed for you.
Easy breathe.
I also want fan art. of this. I kind of want them to just be like the new main characters.
Yeah, so easy enough. You leave Gutweed with Little One. Anything else you would like to do before you head over to the temple? Okay.
Pull up with my pack.
Yeah. All right. So you head over to the temple, going within the walls. Into this small, humble little building. Let's see here. It's just a stone building, and you can see the engraving of a blank scroll over the doorway. And as you step inside, you find yourself within a big chamber with pews, and there's an altar at the back where you do see there's an individual standing there flanked by two other individuals in purple robes. And behind them, the wall has this beautiful tapestry that is just filled with countless scrolls. Just dozens, hundreds of scrolls, all laid out in almost like a mosaic across this giant tapestry that hangs behind the altar. And above in the air, there is a faintly glowing pair of hands with the palms outwards, out and upwards like this. And kind of hovering above it in this ethereal light is that same blank scroll hovering above the palms. The figure standing at the altar there has a purple cowl on, and you can see that there is a outline of a scroll embroidered in silver on the chest. His wizened face has deep laugh lines and a well-trimmed silvery goatee. And he just smiles as you enter and looks at you and just gently waves a hand as you step in. And you can see that Irony is standing down on the stone floor with you as you walk in, and he just kind of nervously smiles as you come in.
This is a human?
He is human, yes. And he is flanked by two other humans. One of them you do recognize as Velma. And the other one, I'm just going to say it is another priest with purple robes. I don't think it's necessary to go into a deep description of that person.
Well, Velma and I are old friends, so...
Yeah.
Velma and I are old enemies.
Yes, Velma, as you walk in, sees you, Kadam, gives a smile, and then sees Lovelace and immediately goes... as you enter into the room. Oh, look, guys, we can become famous. As you walk in, Kaelin looks at you and you step inside and he says, oh God, let's see if I can do this voice. Ah, Irony has told me about the two of you. Please, step in and, if you don't mind, I'm just going to be asking you some questions about the events that have taken place.
Certainly. I understand that we messed things up a little bit and revealed another mess.
Oh, well, from Irony's story, it all sounds like it was just a bit of a misunderstanding, and, well, you were, trying to do the right thing, it seems like. But, nevertheless, we must reveal the whole truth, make sure there is no, foul play here, as unfortunately someone has died within our walls. So, would both of you be willing to be put under the effect of a zone of truth?
Of course.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Very well. He places his hands on his chest, takes a deep breath in, and then pulls out forward as these kind of ethereal silver threads come out from his chest. And he traces them in a circle in front of him and just lets it out. And this circle, you watch as it flies out into the room gently, rises up above you all, and then you watch as this kind of shimmer, almost distortion, just in like a bubble around you.
Just the two of us?
No, it caps. I think you could probably get everybody in the room. It's a pretty big radius, I believe.
It is. Just wondering...
Yes.
Wondering who's privileged here and who's not.
Everyone in the room it affects.
All right.
And you now need to speak the truth.
Or make a saving throw.
Or make a saving throw. Yeah. So, he, smiles. Oh, thank you for cooperating.
I think a fair few people don't. You're the second person to have cast this and the second to have thanked us for our cooperation.
Oh, well, most folk who come in cooperate. It's just, when they don't, it's rather awkward.
I can imagine.
So, Do you have any personal connection to Matreus?
No.
None.
Why were you seeking Matreus for help?
We had learned that he's an authority on, or was an authority on curses, and we thought that's what we were dealing with.
And you? I'm sorry, I actually didn't get your names. I know that you are Kadam and Lovelace, though. And I am Kaylin. You, Lovelace.
We know.
Same. I came as a bodyguard for Kidam. It's a dangerous road, and as the events of yesterday and last night would seem, seems that it was prudent.
All right.
I would not be alive right now if it weren't for Lovelace and Irony.
It seems that way. What can you tell me of the circumstances of Matreus's death?
Well,
I saw him first, I suppose. Portal opened up, we walked in, closed before we could make sure that it was stable. Found him already dead in a room. Kidam, you tried to figure out how long he'd been dead for.
yeah. His back was covered in claw marks, relatively deep. That was clearly what killed him. Had been dead not terribly long, enough to get cold and stiff, but not so long that he was starting to rot yet.
It was the first time that we'd seen him, but we knew that he was Matreus because Irony, our guide, mentioned it, I believe.
You recognized him, Irony?
Yes, I did. Good. Were you responsible for the death of Matreus? In any way?
Not as far as I can tell.
No.
Good. Well, that's very good. Now, as a ancillary thing, not quite as important as discovering the means of how Matreus died, but it does seem it is, as you say, that he was probably, as Irony pointed out as well, probably killed by this quasit. It seems it was perhaps just an accident.
Is that what it was called?
Oh, yes. The creature that Irony described, we're pretty certain it is something known as a quasit, a demon from the abyss. And it seems that this mage, Festandia, was perhaps trying to summon a familiar, but maybe was unable to get the spell to operate correctly, hence it being locked in that room. Now, a slightly other matter, just when we find extra-dimensional spaces such as this, we do need to make sure that we catalog everything within and that we know all the ins and outs. And this being a special circumstance, as this belonged to someone who was quite a frequent guest here within Candlekeep and have not seen her in some time. And we would like to keep her home away from home, as close to the way it was when she left. Did you take anything from Festandia's home?
I did.
You did, okay. What
Yes.
about, and what was it that you took?
I will pull out the dead body of the cat.
Oh my.
This is liver shrub.
Well, that's rather unfortunate.
I don't want to keep the body. You may have it if you like. I just didn't want it to get eaten by this quasit creature. Do you have a corpse cart lying about or something like that?
Oh, no, we don't. We do have well, we have crypts under the keep, but those are reserved for the avowed. Unless this cat was quite spectacular. I'm not sure that that's the right place for them, but we have priests that could help.
I don't really. Well, I mean, I just would like someone to take the body off of my hands.
Oh yes, we can absolutely do that. Velma, would you mind? Oh, certainly. She'll go down and...
Thank you, Velma. I greatly appreciate it. It's still fresh. It shouldn't start stinking for another couple of days.
Oh. Yes, she will take it off to the side. Well, very well. Anything else?
Another cat came out with me, Gutweed.
Ah. Well, dead?
No, live.
Okay.
Quite a wonderful little creature.
Cats are quite interesting tricksters sometimes.
Liver Shrub certainly was. They would offer you their belly to pet and then scratch you if you tried to do it.
I've known many a cat that has done such things to me.
I'm a fan of cats.
They can be quite delightful, yes.
Because Lovelace here, she's also a rather large cat fan, and I've just been. There were 4 cats in there. One of them got eaten. There's Liver Shrub there. Gutweed's, well, around, and I don't remember the name of the other one, but we left that one there.
Very good. Thank you for letting me know. Anything else that you may have taken from the mansion, or is that it?
There was, we also encountered a couple of homunculi. I believe that's the plural.
Yes.
One of them died as well, but the one who survived told us that they might be able to reconstruct the original one. I don't know if that's something that you all can provide as a service.
Oh, well, we could make a new homunculi, but reconstructing previous owner's homunculus. See, a homunculus is tied to the caster, so unfortunately, I don't think we could bring that one back. It would have to be the original caster.
Well, that's all then.
This is all wonderful to hear, but just a simple yes or no will do, and then we can go up from there. Did you take anything else from the mansion, or is that it?
No. I don't believe.
Yeah, I guess, you didn't. Yeah.
I feel like I didn't. I can't remember what I took.
Well, there was the imp statue, and...
that's right.
The gallbladder, gall reagent, the galling reagent.
Yeah. No other objects, no.
You don't have the gall reagent on you?
No, I guess maybe Lovelace does. So Lovelace has the gall reagent. So yeah. So Lovelace is like, oh yes. I'd forgotten. This helped us detect and track down that demon creature.
Do you mind if I just take a brief look at that?
Go ahead.
Kind of holds it towards the irony.
That is rude, sir.
It's just the nature of the material. I'm sorry if I offended you, irony. Oh, no, it's okay, you didn't. Oh, well, thank you. Well, if that is it, then, I believe we are almost done here. The final thing to discuss is the matter of the imp. Just like to hear your retelling of what exactly happened. Perhaps you saw where it went after it left the room. I know that apologies, Lovelace, I heard, came running out of the room saying it had fled. Can you tell me anything about the events that transpired just before it escaped your clutches?
Well,
It burst out of my pack, flew up into a corner of the room. Lovely. So you made a swing at it. I don't remember if you hit or
Yeah.
not.
I don't believe so.
All right. And it was upset at that.
Irony
berated it.
went to grab it as we talked with it.
Oh, you had a conversation with it.
Briefly.
Fascinating. What did you speak about?
It wanted to know where it was and to get out. And if I remember correctly, there was some foul language exchanged.
Oh,
Kidam practically held me back from just straight up attacking it.
That's true. I did. I didn't really know what we were dealing with.
yes, the fiends of the lower planes have such colorful ways of coming up with curses and swears.
It went invisible relatively soon after coming out of the bag, and
We didn't see it as it left the room.
it's true.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm trying to think if there were any. I don't think there were any lies there. I think you stated all true facts.
This is not Lovelace's first time under Zone of Truth.
Yeah, totally. Well, so you said it wanted to know where it was, and you held back Lovelace from attacking it, and then it disappeared out of your sight. Did it say anything else? Just any other clues, maybe, that we could find, help us find out where it might be?
I mean, we did tell it that it was on the material plane. It said something about that being just fine.
Yes, well, fiends, quite difficult for them to get here, so. Hey, Lovelace, what were you going to say?
Oh, I don't remember what it said exactly.
Okay.
It did talk in Infernal some, I think. Made some babbling noises.
That's true. Neither of us speak Infernal, so I'm afraid we can't help you there.
Now, I do need to ask you, because this is a fiend we are dealing with, and an imp, a devil. One of those from the Nine Hells are prone to making deals with mortals and promising them the world for anything, really. And you both seem to be those that would not make deals with devils. You've helped one of our avowed here, but I must ask you. Sorry. Did it offer you anything?
500 gold?
Did you accept this offer?
No. I've been a lot longer than that, sir, with all due respect.
Did you make any sort of deal with this devil?
I did not.
And Lovelace?
Lovelace doesn't say a word. I think
I need to look up Zone of Truth now. Specifics of the spell.
I believe it's like you can be like evasive and stuff.
You can.
You just can't.
You can.
say-
You can, as long as you are stating true facts. You know, you can.
Yeah.
You can do that. Let me see the specifics of it. Oops. My internet is being slow.
Claire, what do I say? Claire.
That's for you to figure out.
It is, yeah. This is just happening to you.
Zone of Truth.
Here we go.
On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
Yes.
Such creature can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of the truth. Yeah.
So, what do you do, Lovelace? Do you just remain silent?
How about this? I'll say it offered. And its condition was to like for us to bring it out. And I considered bringing it back to the other place, but I didn't.
The other place being
The extra dimensional space.
oh, to Fistandia's mansion.
Yeah.
So that's what you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you I know you're not lying, but can you make a deception check to see like, you know, how confidently you're able to say this without really like stumbling on your words?
Can it be intimidation to be really confident about things?
No, you are kind of trying to deceive here. So make a deception check for me, please.
Come on, zone of truth. It's fine. It's
I'm
fine.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You can trust me. You can trust me.
Is that a 3 I see?
That is the 3 you see.
Well, here. To be fair, I will roll a insight check for this figure. Maybe they roll
Presumably,
a 1.
the head cop has a bonus larger than 3.
Probably, but you know, let's see. I don't think this guy's stat block exists in the thing.
I haven't rolled above a 10 today. Oh, I guess like perception for the book that little one was reading. Oh no!
You're rolling high on the important stuff.
All right, I'm gonna have to manually roll because I don't have this person's stat block.
Could roll on which dice?
I could. I need to see here. Yeah. So again, this is one of those things where it's like I was gonna kind of give this guy a modified stat sheet, but I didn't get around to it.
Why don't you just roll and maybe it's moot?
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give them I'm gonna give them the insight skill because they would have that, so that would give them a bonus plus. Let's see, be the same as that's right because that's religion. Wow. Okay. Get a big boost there.
Bigger than 3, Nathan?
Definitely bigger than 3.
Uh-huh.
Here, yeah, I will. You know what? I will roll on which dice. Here we go.
I don't think our viewers can see which dice. But...
Yeah.
They can. I added which dice to yeah. So our viewers can see that 18.
Oh, sure enough.
Yeah, our viewers can see that 18 that he rolled.
Can you actually scroll up a little bit more on which dice? The Lovelace is the last one that folks can see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
So
there we go.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Yes, that is which dice. That is Olive's dice tracker.
Like added both because I like using which dice.
Yes.
It's a lot faster in combat.
Well, that's unfortunate. It seems that you are not quite telling me the whole story. I do believe what you've just told me is true. But there's something else you're not telling me.
Yes.
What is it, Lovelace?
I'm not going to tell you.
Did you make a deal with this devil?
I've said what I've said.
Well, if you are going to be uncooperative, I'm terribly sorry, but we are going to have to expel you from the grounds.
On what basis?
There is currently a fiend within the walls of Candlekeep. And we would not like that to be so, as it can be very dangerous. It could persuade mortals to do things that could...
I
Well,
fail to see how that's my fault or concern. We came here expecting a basic level of security, and
oh, yes.
immediately we are beset and we are tossed into an extra dimensional space. We are looking to preserve lives in Baldur's Gate.
Yes,
And
I
this
understand.
circus is preventing that. And like, you expect that nobody can have any sort of private information. Like,
Well,
what?
all I need to know, and I'm suspicious of, is that you've in fact made a deal with this devil, as you will not give me an answer, a yes or no answer. And therefore, I'm unfortunately, and my conclusion is that you have made a deal with it, and you were trying to do the right thing, and you, as far as I can tell, all of you stepped within the walls of that mansion willingly, and it was unfortunate what happened, getting locked within there. Yes, under duress. And I don't blame you for that at all. And I don't even blame you for inadvertently releasing that imp out, as far as I can tell from Irony's story, it was just a statue. My concern is this creature is highly intelligent, has malicious intent, can be very persuasive and give mortals things that they desire so that they may do things for its own selfish needs that will further the goals and the agendas of the Nine Hells by corrupting more souls and bringing them down into that dark place.
I fail to see again how this is my concern.
Well, it's my concern, and if you had a part in letting it loose or making any sort of deal with it, then it becomes even further my concern, because now you have allied yourself with this creature.
I am no ally of that thing.
I believe that, but I still think that you may have made some kind of deal with it. So please, what was the deal?
I have no deal with that creature.
You have none.
I'm done with this. If you're going to exercise your arbitrary authority and like throw out some honest seekers of knowledge, then I cannot stop you. You are stronger than me. But know that innocent people will die. You, a person who claims to protect the good.
Well,
We are looking for information that we have not found quite yet. I understand the difficulty in which we have placed you here. I ask that we be able to find what we are seeking for, and then we are quite happy to leave.
well, you, Kadam, of course, you answered truthfully. You did not make a deal with this creature. You are welcome to stay. I am just unfortunately struggling to see what to do here if your companion will not tell me what type of deal they made with this fiend. And we have
Look,
not found the fiend yet.
If you're concerned about further security, have some of your people stay with us as we research. We are no further concern of yours.
I honestly believe that neither of us pose any threat to you or yours.
believe you as well. Can Lovelace, can you make a persuasion check to try to, convince this
And
Kaylin?
Dom give me advantage with the help.
I was gonna say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
To have security with you.
Okay, let's do this
Boy.
thing. Max a 2d20 flat. 16.
Woo! Okay.
Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Frankly, I would welcome it, given the security status of that we've seen so far here.
Lovelace.
Well, it is not a common occurrence that someone walks into a room and discovers a space like that and then becomes trapped within it. All right. I will have Irony here stay with you as your guide, and I will as well assign Velma as extra
Where is
security.
that Velma?
Yeah, Velma's just... and then looks down at the dead cat in her hands. Unfortunately, though, Lovelace, after you find what you need, you will no longer be allowed within the walls of Candlekeep for withholding this information from me.
Fair enough.
Very well. Last thing I would ask of both of you. If you do see the fiend anywhere within the walls, or you know where it may be, please inform us.
I will.
If I have the opportunity to kill it, would that cause you offense?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Well, I am sorry that this interaction went the way it did. You may both go.
Lovelace just turns,
Yeah.
walks out.
Okay.
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
Oh. It's quite all right. You've both been through quite a lot.
That is true.
He leans forward towards you, Kadam, as Lovelace is trotting out of the room. Perhaps you could talk with your friend. See if they could, if they'd be willing to share this information at a later date. We just want to make sure everyone's safe within here.
Absolutely. I understand that need. I will speak with her.
Thank you.
And I will turn and go.
Okay.
Freaking dice rolls. They don't give you what you want sometimes.
No, they don't.
No, they make it interesting.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know exactly where that was
you're
gonna
supposed
go.
to be the face. I have +0 to everything.
I know, but you were the one who could answer that question.
Oh man. Yeah, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, so
Operation Kill Fred before he can spill the beans. Years ago.
all right, so the two of you head out with Irony and Velma in tow. I think Irony catches up to both of you, and says, "Oh, Lovelace,
Yes, Irony?
Why didn't you just tell him?
This place is happy to suspend any expectation of privacy or rights at its whim.
We respect people's privacy. This is a very specific matter, though.
There's always a specific matter, Irony.
I mean, we're dealing with a devil here. Well, all right.
Outside of the zone of truth spell, I'm just gonna be like, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's no concern. I'm sorry that this thing is out here. Again, though, we are here for a different reason. And if the might and the accumulated wealth of this place can't track down a single powerless individual, and like,
I'm sure. Well, we probably will be able to find it. It's a very big place.
Smaller than the whole world, though.
True. And we do. Hopefully, it's still within the confines of Candlekeep. We have wards set up. It should keep it in here for some time.
I have no doubt that those will be effective. And
Well,
Irony, I don't think that any more harm will come because of anything that we may or may not have done.
all right. Well, guess Velma and I.
hey, actually, about that, we spent. Oh, also, we brought you some food. Here you go.
Oh, yes, here's your lunch.
Yes,
Velma,
thank you.
I'm sorry, we didn't bring anything for you.
Oh well, I didn't ask for anything, but it's
No.
okay.
Just
Thank you. I do need to deal with this.
absolutely, please feel free to do whatever you need to.
Yes. I'm probably going to take it beyond the walls and bury it out there. To be honest, I'm not sure.
Do you have an incinerator for a trash heap?
Oh,
I know I'm asking the DM some hard questions here.
I haven't thought about the infrastructure of Candlekeep that deeply.
Just go with this ant.
Yeah. Yes, we do deal with our trash in a unique way. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, yes, I could take it there. That's a good idea.
Yeah, as long as you bury it sufficiently, or incinerate it, or something like that, so that it doesn't smell and attract pests, it should be fine.
Oh, yes, of course. I will go take care of that.
I
Irony,
deeply
just
appreciate it.
keep an eye on them, and I will come find you. Where are you headed to next? So they may
Back
find you
to
there.
Pillars.
Very well. I will find you there. Go deal with this cat now. And she goes walking off into the court of air.
That poor woman puts up with a lot.
And Irony goes to both of you while scarfing down the food. Right. So, right. Did you have any luck figuring out the thing that yes, have you had any luck?
I think we have. I look over at Lovelace. I think we have found what we came for.
Oh?
Perhaps want to double check one or two more things just to make sure, but
Very well. What is...
The creature.
Oh, it's a creature. Okay. Yeah, what information are you looking for specifically?
We believe it to be a slithering tracker, a creation of hags. We have not found in any of these books information about how to track one down.
Very well.
Seem to be particularly
Identification
hard.
seems challenging here.
All right. Well, I can assist you. Let's head back to the pillars while I scarf this food down, and I'll see what I can find. Slithering tracker, you said. Okay, I will do my best to peruse and see if I can find any references to something like that. And any other information you might have, it would definitely help. And for the sake of brevity, because we are at 9 o'clock here, you can give him that information. Head back to the pillars. And he will scurry off and try to collect what books he can. As you wait in the back in a study, like kind of little study room within the pillars, after some time, unless the two of you want to talk amongst yourselves before he comes back. No?
Ah, Lovelace.
That was rough.
That was. I feel like we should leave as soon as we have information.
I wholeheartedly agree.
All right. Anything
No.
else?
If like the entire might of Candlekeep can't find a imp within its walls, I don't know how much help it's gonna have, or frankly trust I have in any advice that anything contained here will help us find a puddle in Baldur's Gate.
I see where you're going with that. I don't know that I necessarily agree, but
It's worth a shot. That's why we're here.
it is. And frankly, I think we have the most important piece of information. If need be, we could leave without knowing how to identify one. Consult with people back home.
And
That's why we take off this evening.
And as you are wrapping up that conversation, after some time, inquiry does come scurrying back with...
Ironing.
Sorry. Oh, I did it. I
You
did
did
it. Yeah. Also, my internet connection is dropping, so the stream, you're probably going to hear garbled voice and I'm going to look all broken up. But anyways, yeah. As irony comes scurrying back with a new stack of books, and they are about... you find many similar books about the Feywild. You do find some books about water elementals that he's brought back, and he brings back one book in particular. It's a small, kind of leather-bound looking, almost journal. It's not particularly big, very worn little journal, and he brings it back to you and goes, so these books here, there's things about elementals, and there's this one here which speaks of oozes that might have something to do with it, but I was looking through this book here. This is the one that Matreus actually brought to gain entry. Oh, I think the stream maybe completely dropped.
It's still fine on my phone.
Still fine on your phone?
Yeah, I can see things.
Great. Trace actually brought this book as his gift to get into. No. Anyways, I was perusing it, and I did find this one section here, and he kind of flips over to it, sets it down in front of you. And you see it's just like really handwritten, hastily written notes, just kind of hard to read and decipher. And looking at it, he points at a section and goes, there's a lot of talk here about demons from the abyss, but specifically about where lots of them come from. And there's one here speaking of the demon lord that created all oozes. And as I was going through it, there was a section here that was reminding me of perhaps what you described. So you might want to take a look through here.
All right.
All right, cool. They're good on their side. So if you would like to look through this book.
Sure. I will read from the book that was in Baldur's Gate 10 days ago.
Oh God.
I know. So looking through the book, the section that you pointed out, it does speak of, God, I don't know the pronunciation, Jubilix?
Jubilix. Yeah.
Jubilix, the demon lord of oozes. And there's plenty of information in there, Kadam, about, theories about how Jubilix perhaps created all oozes. There's some sort of blight on our world. And then there's notes about talking about how there are other creatures in the world that seem to be adjacent to oozes, and they are even classified such as oozes, but exhibit they don't seem to quite be an ooze. And there's a description of some creature within there that seems to be created through some sort of ritual where all of the fluid is pulled out of a humanoid and the corrupted soul is placed within that fluid, and it seems to be used as some form of like an assassin to specifically use to seek out an individual and destroy them. And then after which it's supposed to wither away and disappear. But there's a little bit about how sometimes these things seem to not disappear and start devouring other things in the area, like they're like some sort of insatiable hunger, and they're just driven by this force. But the part that really catches your attention as you start reading through this passage, you read a passage towards the end. And it's talking about how this specific type of creature, although people classify it as an ooze, it contains far more water than other varieties. There's quite a bit of water, like in, specimens, I guess, that they have found, have killed, and then whatever's left trying to inspect it. And it seems to be mainly made up of water, and then usually there's bits of viscera within it because it's devoured a victim. Which is another part. It talks about how you can potentially find these things by following if you're good enough, you can maybe follow a trail of viscera to wherever or blood rather, to wherever it is hiding. But towards the end, it talks about
it does
how
hide.
Yes, it seems that it tends to gorge itself and then go off and hide away while digesting, and then eventually come back to devour more.
Does it say that it always goes back to the same hiding place, or does it just find a quiet corner?
It seems that, it seems to be a bit random, but it is drawn towards wet places as it is able to disguise itself much more, much better. Like Fred said, it can look like a puddle. Mm-hmm. But the part that catches your attention as you're getting further into this is that it talks about how these creatures, there are people out there who have found a way to quickly dispatch them. And as you are reading through it, getting into the details of this, it talks about using the ground dust from the elemental plane of Earth, which can be, and as you're starting to get to the final details of what this might, what this method may be, you hear this voice come through your head. This voice, this strange whispering, kind of echoing voice that just says, "Feed me." And as you sigh, you watch as the pages on the book start to, and they
shove it away from me.
As you shove it away, the book shuts and kind of and falls off the table. Inquiry suddenly turns to see what the commotion
hand
is.
axes out.
And you watch as the book is quivering there on the chair where it's fallen onto, and you see bits of light kind of, and now both of you are hearing this voice come through your head.
Feed me.
I want to stab it. Just
Okay.
ka-chunk.
We will, as you go to stab it, we are going to roll for initiative, but we are going to stop the episode here as you're getting ready to pull up your hand axe and throw it at it. Or you have your pike?
I think close quarters is hand axes.
Yeah, so you have your hand axes and you're going to chop it, and you watch as that light coalesces and it turns into this strange, hovering, glowing sphere. And the book itself is now gone, and it's just this hovering sphere of light. And you hear that voice as you are stabbing towards it, and we will end the episode there. So.
Was.
We keep reading books. We are reading that one in our head, even.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we will pick up next session here, right as the book is turning into a ball of light and Lovelace is striking forward with her hand axes.
Oh boy, I'm flushed from life. I'm not good at that.
That was intense. I didn't really know where that was gonna go,
That dude was laser focused on what happened.
But I don't know. This is something. So that whole section was basically homebrewed, but it just made sense in my head that that's what would happen, and that this person would ask these questions. So, good job, both of you, on your performance tonight, and good job, Lovelace, on trying to stand up to this guy. And
I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mara. I thought so too. It was impressive.
Well, thank you everyone tonight for joining us. Thank you to both of you, and we will see you all next week as we resume this adventure and see what happens next. Good night.
Have a good night.
I want to hit things.